Tonight, I will present someone who exemplifies what can happen when talent meets opportunity. I will do that in presenting our final award, the highest recognition we bestow upon a member of our alumni family, the William Howard Taft Medal for Notable Achievement. As many of you know, William Howard Taft grew up just steps from our campus and earned his law degree here at UC. He went on to serve as both President of the United States and Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, a legacy of leadership and service that continues to inspire. Over the years, the individuals who have received this medal have carried the same spirit forward, leaders whose work has shaped their fields, their communities, and in many cases, the world. This evening, we add another remarkable name to that distinguished list, Vinod Dham. He is known around the world as the father of the Pentium chip. He graduated with a bachelor's degree from the Delhi College of Engineering in India. Vin came to UC in 1975 with all of $8 in his wallet. But he did have something in his pocket. He had a letter from Professor Thurman Henderson, Department of Electrical Engineering at the University of Cincinnati, for a research assistantship that paid the princely sum of $325 a month. So in 1975, he arrived here to pursue his master's degree, to study a topic that would place him at the forefront of one of the most transformative technological revolutions in history. After earning his master's, he worked at NCR in Dayton, Ohio, before being recruited to Intel in 1979. His growing expertise aligned perfectly with skyrocketing demand for faster and more robust computing capabilities. Eventually, he became general manager of the I-486 Workgroup Computing Division and vice president of Intel's Pentium Processor Division. During his 16 years at Intel, he successfully led and managed the Intel 386 compaction, the I-486, and Pentium processor families, helping Intel become the largest company in the semiconductor industry. I'm going to have a little sidebar here. Some of you, and this may be more for the engineers than the non-engineers, but many of you may have heard of the Moore's Law. Gordon Moore was the co-founder of Intel, and in 1965, he made a prediction. He said that the number of transistors on an integrated chip would double every approximately 2 years. That was the prediction he made. Many of us in this field have seen that curve. He made the prediction in 65, and for sure, it held to his prediction for almost 50 years. Well, yesterday I learned from Vinod at lunch that he would come into Vinod's lab when he was developing the chips for the future, and he would ask him how many transistors he had on his chip. And then he would take that and plot it on the curve that most of us have seen. Now imagine having your boss have a prediction that says you've got to double your output every 2 years, and he tells the world that. Now he comes to you and says, have you met that goal? But Vinod did. Vin's work helped fundamentally change how the world works, communicates, and connects. These advances made computing faster, more powerful, and more accessible, opening the door to innovation across nearly every industry. Specifically, the Pentium chip, introduced in 1993, contained millions of transistors on something smaller than a postage stamp at a time when that scale was extraordinary. The Pentium wasn't just breakthrough engineering. It was one of the first chips people actually knew by name. It helped unlock the era of advanced graphics, scientific computing, and eventually modern digital media. Significantly, it enabled a single chip to perform like two working side by side, allowing everyday computers to process tasks in parallel, so it was both faster and more efficient. What's especially remarkable about Vin is that what came next in his career. After helping build Intel, one of the most important companies in the world at that time, Vin turned his attention to helping others build. Vin became deeply involved in mentoring startup entrepreneurs as an angel investor, work that grew out of his pioneering efforts in India to develop a venture capital-driven startup ecosystem largely based on the Silicon Valley model. His work helped create the third largest startup and venture community in the world. In 2005, he founded Indo-US Venture Partners, an India-focused early-stage venture capital fund. He remains the firm's executive managing partner. Vin was also chief executive officer of Silicon Spice, a chip design startup he joined at its nascent stage. He led its design of a VoIP chip, and this is the chip that makes possible Teams, Zoom, you name it. Vin's work has been recognized often, including by the College of Engineering and Applied Science at UC, with the Herman Schneider Distinguished Alumni Award in 2000. He has been named one of the top 25 executives in the computing industry and one of the top 100 most influential Asian Americans. He was recently highlighted at the Smithsonian among the Indian Americans who have helped shape America. In 2025, Vin received the Padma Bhushan, one of India's highest civilian honors, for his many contributions in the area of science and engineering. What stands out most is the reach of his work and the countless ways it continues to shape the world around us. Vin's story reflects something we value deeply at UC, that innovation can start anywhere and with anybody, and its impact can reach everywhere. He is, in every sense, a Bearcat whose work has changed the world. Fellow Bearcats, it is my great honor to present the William Howard Taft Medal for notable achievement to Vinod Dham.
President Pinto, distinguished guests, faculty, members of Alumni Association, and fellow Bearcats. Thank you, President Pinto, for this generous recognition, and my sincere thanks to the Alumni Association Selection Committee for bestowing upon me its highest honor. To receive an award bearing the name of William Howard Taft, a proud Cincinnatian who uniquely served our nation as both President of the United States and Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, is profoundly humbling. His life stands as a testament to public service, integrity, and excellence, values that continue to inspire all of us. More than 50 years ago, when I first arrived in the United States to begin my journey at the University of Cincinnati, I came with little more than a dream. And $8 to my name. At that time, the government of India permitted travelers to carry only $8 out of the country. Having been offered a full tuition scholarship and a research assistantship by the University of Cincinnati, I had naively assumed that those $8 would be enough to sustain me until I arrive here. On my second day on campus, this campus right here, I met Mrs. Mary Campbell, the foreign student advisor, who had been corresponding with me for over a year to help me make my admission possible. What she expected to be a simple welcome meeting became a moment forever etched in my heart. One that taught me the true meaning of compassion, kindness, and human generosity. When I asked her about receiving my $325 monthly research assistantship, she gently explained that it would begin only after I had started my research duties. I was momentarily speechless. I shared with her that I had only $8 to my name and that I needed to pay for my dorm, health coverage, and even necessities like food. She was visibly taken aback. Without hesitation, she stepped out of the room and returned moments later with $120 in cash, what she described as a loan from petty cash, repayable over 6 months once my assistantship began. I felt an overwhelming sense of relief and a gratitude that has stayed with me ever since. When I walked this campus as a student, I believed I was here to earn a degree. What I did not realize was that I was stepping into a place of personal transformation, a place where individual drive and ingenuity find an ecosystem that nurtures the realization of human potential and ultimately enables widespread impact. This extraordinary university does not simply create graduates, but creates contributors, not just careers, but legacies, not just success stories, but stories of transformation. I was fortunate to witness that firsthand. My batchmate, Tsai Ming Kai, who went on to found MediaTek in Taiwan, helped enable the global mobile revolution. Today, MediaTek powers billions of devices worldwide and is valued at over $90 billion. Together, our journeys reflect what this institution makes possible. Thanks to UC for seeding this DNA, I had the privilege of spending the first 25 years of my career helping build the personal computer revolution through my work on Intel's 386, 486, and Pentium microprocessors, which helped shape the computing industry and touched millions of lives. In the past quarter century, I've been equally committed to giving back, helping build India's startup and venture ecosystem, and supporting the development of its domestic semiconductor industry. For me, that transformation began in the electrical engineering department's semiconductor laboratory. I owe a deep debt of gratitude to Professor Henderson and Professor Nevin. They did not simply teach, they challenged. They pushed me to think deeper, to question assumptions, and to embrace complexity. Their exacting standards cultivated not only technical competence, but resilience and intellectual honesty. And yet, as I reflect today, I am reminded that no meaningful journey is ever taken alone. This recognition is not mine alone. It belongs to the mentors who guided me, the family who supported me, the colleagues who collaborated with me, and the broader community that believed in what we were building, sometimes even before we fully did. It also belongs to this extraordinary university. I am forever proud to be part of University of Cincinnati's legacy. I am reminded that the true power of an institution is not measured by its buildings or its rankings, but by the lives it transforms and the ripple effects those lives create. I am deeply honored to carry the Bearcat spirit forward, continuing to build, to innovate, and to give back in ways that expand opportunity for others, just as it was once extended to me. Thank you.